The desert sun burned brightly over the endless red sands of planet Cariel, a world untouched by human hands for thousands of years. Explorer Liam adjusted his helmet as he scanned the horizon with his binoculars. Strange energy readings had led him and his small team to this remote canyon, far from any human settlement. The desert stretched endlessly, but one thing caught Liam's eye: a shadow carved into the cliffs, impossible to be natural. "Look at that," Liam said, pointing. His companion, Mara, squinted in the harsh light. "That is no ordinary canyon. It looks like an entrance." The two scientists approached carefully, their boots crunching on the dry sand. As they drew closer, Liam noticed strange markings on the rock. They were symbols, painted in a substance that glimmered faintly red. He touched one with his gloved hand. The symbol seemed to hum under his fingers, sending a small jolt through his arm. "This is incredible," Liam whispered. "These markings, they're not just decoration. They feel alive." Mara knelt to examine them. "It looks like dried blood, but it's not human. The composition is strange. We should take samples before entering." Liam nodded. He pulled a small container from his pack and carefully scraped a piece of the red substance. As he worked, the wind shifted suddenly, raising small clouds of sand. A chill ran down his spine, though the desert heat was intense. Something about this place felt different, almost watching them. The entrance to the tomb was a massive archway carved into the cliff face. Liam's scanner picked up faint energy pulses inside. The readings were unlike anything he had ever seen. "This is it," he said, excitement and fear mixing in his voice. "This could be one of the oldest human discoveries on any planet. We could be standing in a place untouched for thousands of years." Mara hesitated. "We should be careful. Legends on Cariel speak of tombs cursed by the first settlers. They say the walls protect the secrets inside. Maybe the energy readings are a warning." Liam smiled, but it was nervous. "Legends are stories. We are scientists. We follow evidence, not fears. Let's go inside and find out what's really here." They activated their lights and stepped into the tomb. The air inside was cool, a strange relief from the scorching desert outside. The walls were carved smoothly, covered in the same red symbols, forming patterns that pulsed faintly as their lights passed over them. Liam's scanner beeped continuously, picking up energy that seemed almost conscious. "This is bigger than I imagined," Liam said. "Look at the scale of this place. Someone built this with incredible skill." As they moved deeper, they discovered a large hall lined with statues. Each statue represented a figure holding a unique object, almost as if frozen in time. Some held spheres, some held rods, and others had their hands pressed together as if in prayer. All of them were carved from a dark stone that absorbed light, giving the room an eerie feel. Mara ran her fingers along the wall. "The energy readings are strongest here. It's like the tomb is alive, responding to us." Suddenly, the red markings on one wall brightened, forming shapes Liam had never seen before. He stepped closer, brushing dust away to reveal what looked like writing written in blood. The symbols twisted and coiled around themselves, almost moving under his gaze. "Careful, Liam," Mara warned. "We don't know what this is. It might be dangerous." Liam ignored her hesitation. He lifted his hand and touched the wall. The symbols glowed brighter under his touch, and a low hum filled the hall. A ripple of energy ran across the floor, and small cracks appeared in the statues. The team froze, realizing that the tomb had reacted to their presence. Suddenly, the lights on their helmets flickered, and a voice, deep and distant, echoed in Liam's mind. It was not words, but a feeling, a warning, full of power and something ancient. Liam stumbled back, heart racing. "Mara, did you feel that?" he whispered. She nodded. "Yes. The tomb, it's alive. I think the legends were true. This place is not just a building. It's a guardian, a warning, or maybe both. Liam took a deep breath, trying to steady himself. We came this far. We need to see what's inside. But we must be careful. Every step matters. They advanced slowly, scanning the walls and statues. As they moved, the patterns of red symbols continued to respond to their touch. Small pulses of energy ran along the walls, giving the impression that the tomb itself was watching. At the far end of the hall, they saw a door carved from a single massive stone slab. Strange carvings surrounded it, depicting scenes of humans interacting with figures that looked alien. In one image, a figure in red stood over others, surrounded by what appeared to be blood-written symbols, striking fear into all around it. Liam swallowed hard. This could be the entrance to the heart of the tomb. Whatever lies beyond this door, it is ancient and powerful. We must be ready. Mara nodded. Let's prepare our equipment and proceed with caution. We do not know what awaits us, but I have a feeling this tomb has secrets beyond our imagination. Liam felt a thrill. He knew the next steps could change humanity's understanding of history forever. He took a final glance at the glowing red markings, feeling both fear and excitement. The curse, the blood, the tomb, it was all waiting, and now there was no turning back. They stepped toward the massive stone door, unaware that by doing so, they had already begun a journey that would test courage, wisdom, and humanity itself. The massive stone door stood silently, its surface carved with strange symbols that glowed faintly red. Liam and Mara examined it carefully. The symbols seemed to shift when viewed from different angles, forming patterns that almost felt like a warning. Look at this, Mara said, pointing to a section near the bottom. It looks like some kind of inscription. I think it might be a warning for anyone who enters. Liam ran his fingers lightly over the carvings. The stone felt unusually warm, as if the tomb itself were aware of their presence. I've never felt anything like this, he said. It's almost alive. He pressed a panel shaped like a triangle, and the massive door began to tremble. Dust fell from the top as the stone slowly moved aside, revealing a long corridor beyond. The air inside was cooler, carrying a faint metallic scent that made Mara wrinkle her nose. The corridor was wide enough for two people to walk side by side. The walls were covered with more of the red symbols, pulsing softly as they advanced. Liam's scanner beeped continuously, picking up readings far beyond anything humanity had encountered. Whatever built this tomb, Liam whispered, had technology far ahead of our time. Look at the energy readings. They are unlike anything we know. Mara adjusted her light, revealing a series of murals along the walls. They depicted humans and alien figures working together, sharing knowledge, and building strange machines. In one scene, a human handed a glowing object to an alien figure, who nodded solemnly. But in another, a figure in red stood over a group, and blood-like symbols surrounded them, forming shapes that seemed to twist toward the viewer. It seems like the red symbols mark danger or power, Mara said, tracing one with her gloved hand. They might be warnings for the tomb's visitors. The ones in the murals might show what happens if the rules are broken. As they walked, Liam felt a sudden chill. His lights flickered, and a soft hum echoed through the corridor. Mara stopped, looking around nervously. Did you hear that? She asked. Liam nodded. Yes. The tomb is reacting to us. Be careful. Suddenly, a shadow moved across the far wall. Liam swung his light toward it, but there was nothing. The corridor was empty. Still, the feeling of being watched grew stronger. They continued, carefully stepping over shallow grooves in the floor that formed strange patterns. Every step seemed to trigger a faint pulse in the walls, as if the tomb were measuring them. Liam realized that the tomb was not just a building, it was a test. At the end of the corridor, they found a large chamber. The walls glowed with red symbols, brighter than anything they had seen so far. In the center of the room stood a pedestal, holding a crystal that pulsed with a deep red light. Liam approached it slowly. "This must be the heart of the tomb," he said. "The source of the energy readings." Mara held out her hand. "We should be careful. That crystal, it feels powerful, almost dangerous." Ignoring her warning, Liam reached out and touched the crystal. Instantly, the red symbols on the walls flared, and the room shook. A low, deep hum filled the chamber, vibrating through their bodies. The crystal's light grew brighter, forming shapes in the air, almost like writing made of energy. Mara stepped back. "Liam, stop. We don't know what this is. It could be a trap." But Liam could not resist. He leaned closer, examining the energy symbols. They formed words in a language his translator could barely interpret. A message appeared clearly: "Those who awaken me shall bear the curse of blood." Mara gasped. "The curse, it's real." Before they could react further, the pedestal trembled, and a section of the floor slid open. From it rose a massive figure, humanoid in shape but made of stone and red energy. Its eyes glowed like molten metal, and it radiated power. Liam stumbled backward in shock. "The Guardian," he whispered. "It's real." The figure raised its hands, and the red symbols on the walls moved as if alive, twisting and forming patterns that seemed to warn them. The Guardian's voice echoed in their minds, deep and resonant. It was not words in any language they knew, but the meaning was clear: the curse was awakened, and the tomb would judge them. Mara grabbed Liam's arm. "We have to move. We need to find a way deeper into the tomb. Maybe there is a way to survive this." The Guardian stepped forward, and the chamber trembled again. Liam realized they could not go back. The entrance they had used was blocked by a sudden collapse of rock and dust. The tomb had sealed itself. Liam's heart pounded. "We have no choice. We must face what is inside. This tomb, it's testing us. Every decision we make from here matters." Mara nodded, fear and determination in her eyes. "Then let's move. Together." They advanced cautiously, the Guardian following silently, its glowing eyes fixed on them. The red symbols pulsed as they walked, forming patterns that seemed to guide them deeper into the tomb. Each step felt heavier than the last, but Liam knew that they had already begun a journey from which there was no turning back. Inside the heart of the ancient tomb, the curse waited, ready to challenge their courage, wisdom, and humanity. The Guardian's presence filled the chamber with a heavy, silent power. Liam and Mara paused, feeling the weight of unseen eyes upon them. The figure was enormous, its body a mix of stone and glowing red energy, yet it moved with quiet, deliberate steps. Each pulse of light from its chest seemed to echo through the entire tomb. Liam swallowed hard. "It is alive in a way we cannot understand," he whispered. "It is watching, judging us." Mara nodded, gripping her tools tightly. "We have to keep moving. Maybe there is a way to survive, to understand what it wants from us." The Guardian raised one hand slowly. A wave of energy rippled across the floor, and small cracks appeared in the stone beneath their boots. Liam felt the vibrations through his body. The symbols on the walls glowed brighter, forming patterns that seemed to shift toward the team. The tomb itself was alive, responding to every movement, every thought. As they stepped forward, a low hum began, rising steadily. The hum grew into a sound that almost resembled words, a warning carried not through language but through thought. Liam realized that the Guardian could communicate with their minds. Fear, courage, and even doubt were reflected back to them. Mara shivered. "It is testing us. Every decision, every reaction. It knows what we feel." Liam's heart raced. He thought carefully about their next steps. If the tomb and the Guardian were tests, they had to act wisely. He signaled to Mara to follow, moving toward a series of doors carved into the far wall. Each door had different symbols above it, pulsing with energy. "Which one should we take?" Mara asked. Liam studied the symbols. They seemed to respond to him as he thought. One door glowed brighter when he focused on teamwork and trust, another dimmed. This one, he said finally. It feels correct. It seems to reward cooperation, not fear. They stepped through the chosen door, entering a long corridor filled with strange obstacles. Giant stone blocks shifted slowly, forming paths that required careful timing. In another section, illusions of their worst fears appeared: falling cliffs, roaring fires, and monstrous shadows. Mara's hands trembled. I cannot face these alone, she whispered. Liam placed his hand on her shoulder. We are not alone. We face them together. As they advanced, they noticed that the blood-red symbols on the walls became less threatening whenever they acted selflessly. When Mara helped Liam across a moving stone platform, the symbols glowed gently. When Liam held her back from stepping into a dangerous trap, the light dimmed slightly but did not pulse aggressively. The team began to understand that the tomb measured their intentions as much as their actions. At the end of the corridor, they reached a vast chamber. The ceiling was high, carved with murals depicting humans and alien figures working together, sharing knowledge, and creating advanced machines. But one mural stood apart. A figure in red loomed over a group of humans, and the symbols around it glowed a deep, threatening red. This must be the source of the curse, Liam said. It is a warning about greed or selfishness. The red figure shows what happens if we fail the test. Mara looked at him, eyes wide. Then the Guardian is not trying to hurt us. It wants to see if we can prove our worth. Liam nodded. We need to continue, but carefully. Every choice matters. In the center of the chamber was a pedestal holding a glowing red crystal. It pulsed rhythmically, like a heartbeat, and the air around it vibrated with power. Liam approached it slowly. This crystal is the key. It is the source of the tomb's energy and the Guardian's power. Mara placed her hand on his arm. Be careful. The moment you touch it, the test begins fully. Liam reached out, feeling the hum of energy through his fingers. Instantly, the Guardian stepped closer, its glowing eyes fixed on them. The symbols on the walls twisted and shifted, forming new patterns. Liam felt thoughts and emotions pushed into his mind, the fears, doubts, and temptations of his own heart. He realized that the tomb was teaching him something important. It was not enough to be brave or clever. He had to show teamwork, courage, and selflessness. Every decision would either strengthen them or invite danger. Taking a deep breath, Liam signaled to Mara. They worked together to lift the crystal from its pedestal, using careful coordination to avoid triggering the tomb's defenses. As soon as they succeeded, the red glow on the walls softened, and the Guardian stepped back, watching silently. The room's energy no longer felt threatening but instead seemed to acknowledge their understanding. Mara exhaled. We did it. The first step is complete. Liam smiled faintly. This is just the beginning. The tomb has more to show us. The Guardian is not an enemy, it is a guide. We must continue, learn, and prove ourselves worthy of the knowledge this place holds. The chamber's walls shifted, revealing a passage deeper into the tomb. The symbols now glowed with golden light, hinting at the trials ahead. Liam and Mara exchanged determined looks. They were ready to face whatever came next, knowing that courage, intelligence, and humanity would guide them through the curse written in blood. The passage beyond the crystal chamber led Liam and Mara into a vast hall filled with strange mechanisms. Giant stone doors lined the walls, each marked with glowing red symbols that shifted when they approached. The air was cooler here, and the faint hum of energy filled the space. Liam's scanner showed multiple sources of power, some hidden beneath the floor. This is incredible, Liam said, moving carefully. The tomb was built not just as a resting place, but as a series of trials. Each path is designed to test us. Mara nodded, eyes wide as she studied the doors. It is like the tomb is alive. It wants to see who we are and what we can do. They stepped toward the first door. As soon as Liam touched the handle, the ground trembled slightly, and a panel opened on the floor, revealing a puzzle. Giant stone tiles shifted, forming patterns that needed to be aligned to create a safe path across a deep chasm. The red symbols on the walls pulsed more rapidly as they considered their options. "We have to work together," Liam said. "One wrong step, and we could trigger a trap." Mara nodded. "We cannot rush. The tomb responds to our choices." They moved carefully, communicating with hand signals. Liam shifted the first tiles while Mara guided him from the other side. Each tile clicked into place, and the chasm revealed a safe path. The red symbols glowed less aggressively, as if acknowledging their success. Once across, they found another chamber, darker and narrower than the first. Shadows danced across the walls, forming illusions of their deepest fears. Liam saw visions of the canyon collapsing outside, of Mara falling through cracks in the stone, and even images of themselves lost in the endless desert. Mara's voice trembled. "These visions, they feel real. How do we move past them?" Liam took a deep breath. "We face them together. Fear cannot control us if we trust each other." Holding hands for balance and courage, they walked slowly through the illusions. Each time they focused on teamwork and courage, the visions faded, replaced by the soft glow of the red symbols calming. Liam realized that the tomb was testing their hearts as much as their minds. At the end of the hall, they reached a small chamber with a single human figure etched into the wall, holding a glowing orb. The figure appeared trapped, surrounded by the blood-red symbols. Below it, a riddle was carved in the stone. Liam read it aloud: "To save the one who cannot move, choose the path that honors unity, not self." Mara looked at him. "It is a test. We have to decide whether to save the trapped figure or continue to the exit. If we choose selfishly, the curse will punish us." Liam nodded. "Then we save it. It is the right thing to do, even if it slows us down." They worked together, following the clues in the symbols to release the carved figure. The walls pulsed as the figure was freed, and the red glow softened into a gentle light. A door at the far side of the chamber slid open, revealing a larger corridor leading deeper into the tomb. "This place," Mara said, "it is teaching us that courage, teamwork, and compassion are more powerful than any fear or greed." Liam smiled faintly. "And we are learning fast. The Guardian will see that we understand the lesson, step by step." As they proceeded, the corridor narrowed into a tunnel filled with low, swinging barriers. Liam ducked and guided Mara through, careful not to touch the energy fields. Some barriers required clever timing, while others needed coordination to move them together. Every success made the symbols glow brighter, as if the tomb itself was rewarding their wisdom and skill. Eventually, they reached a chamber larger than any they had seen before. Its walls were covered in murals showing humans and alien figures working side by side, sharing tools and knowledge. But in the center, a figure in red loomed over others, surrounded by swirling symbols of blood. Liam and Mara understood that this was a warning, showing what happens to those who fail the tests. Liam whispered, "The curse is not just a punishment. It is a lesson. It wants to see if we are worthy of what this tomb protects." Mara nodded, stepping closer. "We need to continue, carefully. Every decision we make matters more than ever." They moved forward into the heart of the chamber, ready to face the next set of trials. Liam realized that the tomb was more than a structure, it was a teacher. It was testing not only their intelligence but their courage, their teamwork, and their humanity. The lessons here could shape them, or break them, depending on their choices. With steady steps and careful hearts, Liam and Mara pressed onward, determined to meet whatever challenges awaited. The tomb's red symbols glowed gently as if guiding them, showing that they had begun to understand the true nature of the curse written in blood. Liam and Mara entered a chamber unlike any they had seen before. The air was warmer, and the faint hum of energy felt more peaceful than threatening. The walls were covered in glowing murals showing humans and alien figures together. They built machines, shared knowledge, and explored new worlds side by side. It was clear that the civilization had been advanced far beyond anything humanity had yet achieved. At the center of the chamber was a sarcophagus carved from dark stone, surrounded by red symbols glowing softly. The symbols were not threatening now but seemed to form patterns that almost invited them closer. Liam stepped forward, his heart racing. "This must be the heart of the tomb," he said. "The source of all the energy we have felt. The knowledge here could change everything." Mara moved beside him, eyes wide. "The murals, they show humans working with aliens. Could this mean our ancestors or early explorers were part of this civilization?" Liam studied the carvings carefully. "I think this tomb was built to preserve knowledge and test those who seek it. The curse is not meant to harm, but to see who is worthy." They examined the sarcophagus. On its lid, more symbols were etched in the same red that had marked the tomb from the beginning. Liam activated his translator. The ancient language formed words on the screen: "Those who prove themselves shall inherit wisdom. Those who fail shall carry the weight of their choices." Mara frowned. "So the curse is not a punishment. It is a lesson. It measures courage, intelligence, and humanity." Liam nodded. "Exactly. Everything we faced, the illusions, the puzzles, even the Guardian, was to test our character." As they studied the sarcophagus, the Guardian appeared at the far end of the chamber. Its glowing eyes focused on them, but it did not move aggressively. Instead, it seemed to observe, waiting for a response. Liam realized that the Guardian's test was not just about skill or bravery. It wanted to see whether they understood the true purpose of the tomb. He turned to Mara. "We need to show that we learned the lesson. We must act with understanding, not fear." Mara nodded. "Then we proceed carefully. We respect the tomb, and we respect the knowledge it protects." Together, they worked to open the sarcophagus. The red symbols pulsed gently, guiding them. The lid slid aside, revealing a preserved alien figure lying at the center. Its body was delicate, yet its presence radiated authority and intelligence. Surrounding the figure were scrolls and crystals that glowed with energy, containing knowledge beyond their understanding. Liam reached out to examine one of the crystals. The moment his fingers brushed it, visions filled his mind. He saw the history of the alien civilization, how they built cities, explored planets, and sought allies among other species. They had faced challenges and enemies but had always valued wisdom and cooperation above power and greed. Mara gasped. "The crystal shows everything. We can learn from their mistakes and their achievements." Liam nodded. "This is incredible. The curse, the Guardian, the tomb itself, it was all designed to protect this knowledge until someone worthy arrived. And I think we are ready to carry it forward." The Guardian stepped closer, and Liam felt its energy press into his mind again. But this time, it was not a warning. It was approval. The red symbols on the walls shifted to a warm golden glow. The tomb seemed to acknowledge their understanding. Mara looked at Liam, eyes shining. "We did it. The curse was never meant to hurt anyone. It was a test to see if we could learn and act wisely." Liam smiled faintly. "Yes. Everything we faced was preparation. The puzzles, the fears, even the illusions, they taught us the value of courage, teamwork, and humanity." They began to carefully collect the crystals and scrolls, taking only what they could carry without disturbing the tomb. Each item contained knowledge about advanced energy systems, medicine, and technology far beyond what humanity had achieved. Liam realized that this could change life for millions, if not billions, back on Earth. As they prepared to leave, the Guardian stepped aside, its glowing eyes watching silently. Liam felt a deep respect for the ancient being. It had tested them, judged them, and now allowed them to take the knowledge they had earned. Mara whispered, "We must honor this gift. humanity has a chance to learn from this civilization, not just take from it. Liam nodded. We will. The true reward of this tomb is not the technology itself, but what it teaches about who we are and what we can become. Courage, wisdom, and compassion are the keys. The golden light of the symbols illuminated a hidden passage leading to the next chamber. Liam and Mara knew that the trials were not entirely over, but the most important lesson had been learned. They had discovered that the so-called curse was actually a measure of character, and they had passed. As they moved forward, the murals seemed to smile, as if the ancient civilization itself approved of their choices. The tomb, once filled with fear and danger, now felt like a place of guidance and knowledge. Liam understood that their journey was not just about survival or exploration, it was about proving the best of humanity. Together, they stepped deeper into the tomb, ready to continue their journey and carry the lessons of the ancient civilization into a future that awaited them. The curse written in blood had been revealed as a test of worth, and humanity had passed. The hidden passage led Liam and Mara into a chamber bathed in golden light. The walls shimmered with symbols and murals that seemed to tell a story of achievement and wisdom. The energy from the crystals they carried seemed to pulse in rhythm with the tomb itself. Liam realized that every trial they had faced was now connected, forming a pathway to understanding. This place feels alive, Mara said, her voice filled with wonder. It is like the tomb itself is guiding us to the next stage. Liam nodded. Everything we have learned, the puzzles, the guardian, the visions, they were all preparation. We are ready for what comes next. At the center of the chamber was a platform covered with more of the glowing crystals and ancient scrolls. Liam approached carefully, sensing the power emanating from the objects. He lifted a crystal, and instantly a vision filled his mind. He saw advanced cities, starships gliding across planets, and energy systems far beyond human technology. The knowledge was breathtaking, but it was more than science. It contained wisdom on leadership, cooperation, and the value of life itself. Mara stepped forward to examine a scroll. Symbols and diagrams shifted into patterns that she could read with the translator. She gasped. This is incredible. It explains energy systems that could provide power to entire cities without harming the environment. The medical knowledge here could save countless lives. Liam smiled. This is the reward the tomb was protecting. All the trials, all the dangers, they were to see if we could handle this knowledge responsibly. The curse was never meant to hurt us, it was a test of our character. The guardian appeared at the far side of the chamber, standing silently as its glowing eyes observed them. Liam felt no fear this time. He understood that the being was not an enemy but a guide. Its role had been to measure their courage, wisdom, and humanity. Mara whispered, "It is watching to see if we take this knowledge with respect." Liam nodded. "We will. The tomb has given us a gift, not just of technology, but of lessons for the future." They worked together, carefully collecting the crystals and scrolls. Each item contained knowledge that could advance humanity without destroying the balance of life. Liam felt a sense of responsibility pressing on him. This was more than an adventure, this was a chance to change the future. As they gathered the final items, the walls of the chamber shifted. The red symbols from the earlier trials transformed into golden light, illuminating a hidden doorway. The passage led upward, toward the surface of the desert. Liam realized that the tomb was guiding them out, ensuring that they could leave safely now that they had proven themselves. Mara looked back at the guardian. "Thank you," she said softly. "We understand what you wanted to teach us." The guardian remained silent but gave a subtle nod before stepping aside. Its energy pulsed once more and then faded, leaving the chamber calm and serene. Liam felt a deep respect for the ancient being and the civilization that had created this place. They had faced fear, solved puzzles, resisted temptation, and learned the value of teamwork and courage. As they ascended the hidden passage, Liam reflected on everything they had experienced. The desert sun shone brightly above, welcoming them back to the surface. The journey through the tomb had been dangerous and challenging, but it had shown the best of human potential. Liam and Mara emerged from the chamber carrying the knowledge and wisdom of a civilization long gone but not forgotten. Mara breathed in the warm desert air. "We did it. We survived the tomb, and we learned everything it wanted to teach us. The curse was only a test, and we passed." Liam looked at the horizon, where the endless desert stretched before them. "This is only the beginning. With this knowledge, we can help humanity grow, explore, and protect our future. The tomb trusted us with its secrets because it believed we were capable of using them wisely." They began the journey back to their landing site, their hearts filled with pride and determination. The crystals and scrolls were heavy, but the weight of responsibility was far greater. Liam knew that what they carried could inspire innovation, compassion, and cooperation among humans for generations to come. As they walked, the golden glow from the tomb seemed to fade behind them, but its lessons remained bright in their minds. Every puzzle, every challenge, every moment of fear had taught them something vital about human courage, intelligence, and humanity. They had faced the curse written in blood and turned it into a triumph of knowledge and understanding. By the time they reached their spacecraft, the sun was high, casting a warm light across the desert. Liam and Mara carefully secured the artifacts and crystals, ready to bring the ancient wisdom back to Earth. They understood the full meaning of the tomb's trials. It was not just about surviving, it was about learning, growing, and proving that humanity was worthy of the gifts left by a civilization far older and wiser than their own. With the spacecraft ready, they boarded and prepared for departure. The tomb remained behind them, silent and still, its secrets now entrusted to human hands. Liam took one last look at the golden glow fading into the cliffs. He smiled. The curse had ended, but the adventure and the lessons would last forever. The spacecraft lifted smoothly from the desert sands of Kariel, carrying Liam, Mara, and the precious knowledge they had earned. The sun reflected off the metal surface, casting long shadows across the cliffs where the tomb rested silently. For a moment, Liam gazed back at the ancient structure. He remembered every challenge, every symbol, every pulse of the Guardian's energy. The curse written in blood had been a test, and they had passed with courage, teamwork, and respect for life. Mara sat beside him, carefully checking the crystals and scrolls. "It feels strange leaving the tomb behind. It was dangerous, but also inspiring. It taught us what humanity can be if we act wisely." Liam nodded. "Exactly. This is more than technology or knowledge. It is a lesson. We now understand that true strength is not just power, but courage, intelligence, and compassion. The tomb trusted us because we showed those qualities." The journey back to Earth would take months, but the excitement of sharing their discovery made every moment meaningful. Liam reviewed the data collected from the tomb, seeing the full scope of the alien civilization's wisdom. There were energy systems capable of powering entire cities without harming the environment. Medical knowledge that could save millions of lives. Insights into leadership, cooperation, and problem-solving that far surpassed human history. "This knowledge could change everything," Mara said quietly. "Not just our world, but every human community. We can learn to live better, work together, and explore safely." Liam smiled. "And it all began with courage and teamwork. If we had acted selfishly or feared the challenges, none of this would have been possible." During the voyage, they communicated with Mission Control, carefully sharing some preliminary findings. Scientists and leaders across Earth were amazed at the discoveries. News spread about the ancient tomb on Kariel and the curse written in blood, but Liam made sure everyone understood the real message. The curse was not a punishment. It was a lesson, a measure of humanity's character. Mara added her own thoughts during one broadcast. "The tomb taught us that technology without wisdom is dangerous. Cooperation and courage are as important as knowledge. Humanity must remember this as we move forward." Liam and Mara spent hours studying the scrolls and crystals, translating the alien writing and organizing the knowledge. Every day revealed something new: a solution to a medical problem, a safer energy source, or a method to preserve life on harsh planets. They realized that the tomb's wisdom was not just for survival but for progress, for the betterment of humanity. As Earth grew closer, Liam felt a sense of pride mixed with responsibility. The lessons of the tomb were not theirs to keep alone. They were gifts meant to inspire every human who could act wisely. The challenge now was to ensure that knowledge was used with care, courage, and compassion. When the spacecraft finally entered Earth's orbit, Liam and Mara prepared for landing. People gathered at the spaceport, eager to welcome them and learn about the discoveries. The team carried the crystals and scrolls carefully, each step filled with the weight of responsibility and the excitement of achievement. Liam addressed the crowd, his voice steady and filled with hope. "We have returned not only with knowledge, but with lessons. The tomb on Kariel tested us, measuring our courage, intelligence, and humanity. We passed, and now we carry the wisdom of a civilization far older than ours. Use it wisely. Let it guide your actions, your choices, and your future." Mara joined him. The curse written in blood was never meant to harm. It was a test of character. Humanity has the chance to learn, to grow, and to work together. We can achieve greatness if we act with courage and respect. The crowd listened in awe, understanding the importance of their words. Scientists and leaders from around the world began organizing teams to study the artifacts carefully. Liam and Mara worked tirelessly, teaching others what they had learned and showing how knowledge combined with wisdom could improve life for everyone. In the weeks that followed, Earth began to change. Communities worked together more effectively, inspired by the lessons of the tomb. Energy systems became cleaner and safer. Medical breakthroughs saved lives. The story of the ancient tomb and its guardians spread across the globe, reminding humanity that courage, intelligence, and compassion were more valuable than power or greed. Liam and Mara often spoke about their journey, emphasizing that the tomb's greatest gift was not just technology, but the proof that humanity could rise to challenges with wisdom and heart. The curse written in blood had transformed from a symbol of fear into a symbol of hope. As the sun set over the horizon, Liam looked at Mara and smiled. "We faced fear, solved puzzles, and proved ourselves worthy. The tomb taught us that humanity's true strength lies not in what we have, but in how we act." Mara nodded. "And now, the lessons of the tomb will guide us and future generations." The curse became a test, and the test became our triumph. Humanity had been challenged, and humanity had risen. The tomb on Kariel remained silent, but its wisdom lived on through Liam, Mara, and the world they inspired. The curse written in blood had ended, leaving behind hope, knowledge, and a brighter future for all.